All right, so good evening, everyone. We are almost going to start. We are waiting for the individuals who are going to be joining us this session. The ones who are actually going to be given the information to join us very soon. And so I'm looking for Miss Mouchette and Miss Lamoya to be here. We have some persons on YouTube as well. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I hope you guys are here with your notes and your notebooks and with all your questions to ask, because here is it a next opportunity presented to you. All right. So good evening, everyone. We are almost going to start. We are waiting for. Oh, my bad. My bad.
I'm here. This is Sonia Mouchette speaking. I'm here, but only thing is under the account for Otigo Thompson. He's our director.
Repeat for me, please.
I'm just saying, this is Sonia Mouchette. I am here, but under the account Otigo Thompson.
Okay. Beautiful. And we have some persons who are joining us on YouTube as well. And so what we want to do is we want to give everyone, I want to say 5 minutes to just relax so that we can get started. Miss Mouchette, I'm going to make you host I'm going to make you the co-host. So if you need to share, you have the opportunity. Also, we want to ensure that everyone is feeling okay, you're feeling relaxed. you're feeling ready. And so we want to also have a small little icebreaker before we really actually get into the nitty-gritty of things. It's now 6:10. We want to ensure that by 6:15 the latest, each and every one is settled and ready to actually get some information. Remember, guys, that this is an information session, which means that everything said here is for you to take home and make use of that information. And remember that the individuals that we have here today are also accepting late registration for those who have not registered as yet. But you're looking forward to, you want to register. Just know that they're accepting late registration, and this is your opportunity to save and go for it and get the information. Miss, let me make you the co-host so you can have some information. If you're tuned in and if you're ready, just you can comment so I can know that you guys are ready. Just say ready. Just type in ready in the chat. As long as you're here and you're ready to get the information, type in ready in the chat. All right, I see Aisha says she's ready. Kimani's all right. I see the ready is coming in, which means that you guys are on your way. Just to do a small introduction before we start things, Miss Thompson has her camera on, even better. So, Pelicans, my name is, give me a minute, I didn't realize that my camera is off. Okay, beautiful. Hello, everyone. My name is Omalora Wilson. I'm the Faculty of Social Sciences representative for the academic year, representing the largest population at the University of the West Indies, the home of the Orange Nation, and the Streak of Tigers. And along with my committee and members of 876 Careers Service International, we are bringing to you the J1 program information session. And this particular program is here to educate and inform you about all the opportunities you can get from signing up for a J1 program, including getting money to facilitate your university experience, learning about other cultures, meeting friends outside of the region, persons that you never knew you'd ever meet, and of course, to just have fun for the summer. For those of you who are first timers, welcome. I do hope that you will learn from this experience. For those of you who have done it before, but you're looking for a different company to work with, you're looking for a different set of people to, to go and meet and greet with, welcome also, and I hope that you will enjoy this session. Remember, it's an information session, which means that throughout this entire session, it's imperative that you're taking information. Even though we're streaming to YouTube live, I want to say hello to everyone over there in YouTube. I'm also putting forward this particular notice to you. Ensure that you have your pencils out, ensure that you have your notebooks with you, and that you're here to take information. And after this, just so you know, 876 CSI, you're taking late registrations. So if it is that you have not registered for a program as yet, and you're looking for a program to register for, they are the perfect persons for you. So at this moment, I'm going to hand over to Ms. Sonia Moshet, who will be the representative for 876 CSI, to give you all the information. Feel free to ask questions during and after the presentation. Once you're asking questions, remember to raise your hands and do the do. Ms. Moshet, over to you.
Thank you. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sonia Moshet. I'm the operations manager for Career Source, and I've been with the company for 9 years. The company has been in operation for, this year would make it 13 years that we've been in operation. And over that period of time, we've offered the J1 Work and Travel program. We've done a few internship programs. So we've offered the J1 program, and then we've done a few internship programs. Now, the benefits that I can tell you as it relates to the J1 program, it's a great opportunity for persons to gain like real world work experience or hands-on experience when it comes to the working world. There are a lot of students that we come across each year. They've never worked before, or they've never been outside of their natural home or habitat. So it's a lot for them to adjust to once they go over. A lot of persons at that time, they learn how to manage their time because you're going to be working more than one job. Some persons do 3 jobs. You're going to be learning to manage your money. So it's about, okay, you know why you're going on the program. And as we've told the students over the year, never tell the sponsors, never tell us, and never tell the embassy the reason you're going on the program is to make money. Because at the end of the day, the program was implemented to allow students at the tertiary level the opportunity to travel to the US and experience their culture. So students around the world are given the opportunity to come to the US and experience their culture and their way of life. As far as the embassy is concerned, as far as the sponsors are concerned, it's never about the money. It's about cultural exchange. It's allowing you to mix and mingle with persons from different countries, learn about their countries, their language, their food, their music, and share your culture as well. So it's a great opportunity for you guys. It's normally 3 to 4 months. So the program runs from May 15th to September 7th. And the positions are normally unskilled. Unskilled meaning that you're not required to have a degree or a certificate to participate. But you must be registered full-time in school. Pros and cons of the program, I'd say, being that I'm a past participant of the program, pros, I'd say it's a great opportunity for you to network. A lot of students have gotten a lot of opportunities from the program, being that they've met other persons or company leaders that have offered them opportunities. And a lot of persons that have gone on the program, they've gained skills that they're able to come back to Jamaica and monetize. So a lot of students now, I see they've started catering businesses or cleaning companies for those who've done housekeeping, those kind of things. The other thing I'd say is that it forces you to adapt. So if you're comfortable in the situation that you're in now, you're home, most persons, they're living with their parents, they've never had to live outside of that, rent a place or anything. You're learning to adapt to a whole new environment. And most persons, they do get culture shock during the first month, but after a while, they kind of ease in. So normally we'd have students that have gone on the program before, just give a run through of what their experience is normally like once they leave, once they arrive, while they're on the program. Outside of that, you're given the opportunity at the end of your program to travel. So you can visit your family, visit your friends, but you're not able to work. So once your permit expires, you have 30 days to travel. However, we normally advise students don't use the entire 30 days. You can use up to 7, especially if you are still in school, meaning you'd have to go back to school. Use 7. Those who are in their final year, so you'd be graduating that November, you can use 14 days or up to the 30 days. As it stands right now, our place registration is still open with us. We will close registration on the 28th of February. Our placements are in the Hamptons. We have placements in Syracuse, New York. Most of our placements, they're hotels, supermarkets, restaurants. And the starting salary for our placements are minimum $12.50. A lot of persons are interested in the Hamptons, and if there's anybody on this session that is interested, there are just some things that I can break down when it comes to the Hamptons. The placements that we have in the Hamptons, they start at $16 per hour. A lot of persons go to the Hamptons because it's a higher paying state or location. However, with the higher paying location, expenses are going to be higher. So the rent is higher and general cost of living there is higher. Remember that the Hamptons is a location that celebrities come to vacation. So during the summer, the price for everything is skyrocketing. Registration for Career Source right now, the registration and enrollment fee, that's $255. So, all right. So it's $255. Once you make that payment, you would submit your receipt to us. The receipt, you submit the receipt, we enter you onto our database, and then you are presented with documents that you need to submit to us. With the document submission, you do an interview with our sponsors, and then depending on the employer that you select, you do an interview with the employer, and then we continue the process from there. We have two tiers when it comes to program fee. We have a silver package, which is $17.99 US, and we have a gold package, which is $19.99 US. For anybody that wants to get a detailed breakdown of what each package entails, you can always send us an email, and I'm going to type the email address that you can send any queries to, or to request a detailed breakdown of the packages. When it comes to the program fee, just bear in mind that the program fees, they do not include your CVIS fee, which is a fee paid by anybody that's going on a J-class visa. It does not include your airfare, it doesn't include your pocket money, and it does not include any fees associated with housing in a case where you are required to pay a housing deposit. As it relates to funding, we've had a lot of persons reach out to us in regards to being able to fund the program. Not a lot of persons are able to come up with $2,000 or $3,000 to fund their work and travel program right now. So J1 financing companies that we work with J1 Financier International, we work with Linza Financials, and we work with Tarpa Corp. So if you'd want their information as well, we'll type them in the chat as well. But all in all, I can say at the end of the day, it's a great opportunity for person. It does have a good earning potential, especially if you're able to strategize your approach when it comes to your schedule. Because for the most part, the minimum that employers will have you working is 32 to 40 hours. However, there is a shortage of labor in the US as it stands. So most employers will be offering overtime. So once you're able to set your schedule and then factor in where you rest, because every year we have students going to the hospital, try to factor in resting and ensuring that you're taking care of yourselves. Overall, it's a great experience for everybody. It's a good opportunity for you to pretty much network, share your culture, gain work experience so that you can build a resume. A lot of persons, they've never done a resume. So when it comes to registering with us and we ask for them to present a resume, there's no form of volunteer experience, no form of work experience. So it's an opportunity for you to be able to add things to your resume. It's an opportunity for you to learn how to manage your time and learn how to budget. Because remember, when you're there, you're getting your pay weekly. You have to cover your rent, you have to cover food, you have to cover transportation and general miscellaneous stuff that you need for yourself. So all in all, it's a great opportunity. So we are still registering. And if anybody has any questions, we're ready to answer. But if you have a question, you can just raise your hand and then I will answer your question for you. Zane?
Hello, good evening.
Hi.
For the Hamptons, first of all, the gold package, it says that the Hamptons is first preference, right?
Yeah.
Yes. It also speaks towards roommate preference. Is it a situation where you guys find
Housing?
housing?
Yeah, we provide housing. Generally, we do provide housing with our placements. However, there are cases where some persons do have relatives or friends that they would like to stay with. That is fine. Yeah. And there are cases where persons want to find their own housing. So you have those options. But generally, we do provide housing. The only thing is that we're not able to provide the exact housing information for the Hamptons as yet for this year. But last year, students were paying between $1,750 and $2,100 for the season, meaning from May to September, that's their rent. So what those property owners did, they requested that the students pay a deposit from Jamaica. So for example, the $1,750, those students were told that they need to pay, for example, $750 before they leave. And then while they're there, at the end of June, they'd pay a certain amount of money. And then by the end of July, they'd pay the balance. So that means August, they're complete with rent. And then for the first week of September, they're complete with rent.
Could you repeat that? So they pay a deposit from Jamaica?
Yes, most property owners, when it comes to renting properties to J1 students, generally they request or require a deposit. This being that they're not going to be holding the space just like that, so they normally ask that the students pay a deposit just so that that secures and confirms that you actually want to use the space.
Okay, and that's a refundable deposit, right?
Yeah, in most cases. But as I said, last year, the deposit that you made was a part of the rent. So for example, last year, it was a total of $1,750 for one of the locations that we had in the Hamptons. So the students paid $1,000 before they left, or $750 before they left. And then at the end of June, they paid another amount. And then by the end of July, they paid another amount. So, by then, the entire season was paid for. So August, they had no rent to pay. And then for the first week of September, they had no rent to pay.
Oh, and the space is something like you're renting a room and then you probably like have a shared kitchen and shared bathroom, something like that?
Normally try to seek housing that is motel style. So it would be motel with a kitchenette, or one of the other places that we got was an entire house. So the students got bunk beds. So they were sharing the general facilities, living room, bathroom, games room, but everybody had their own bunk beds. But as for this year, and then the other thing to take into consideration is that there are a lot of persons that provide housing to J1 students, but at the end of the season, their houses or their properties are somewhat damaged. So in the Hamptons, a lot of persons are skeptical when it comes to renting houses or properties to J1 students. And apart from that, it's a case where when you're renting to J1 students, you have to rent at a lower cost compared to general persons that are coming to vacation. So they weigh that to say, do I rent it to J1s or do I rent it to regular persons who are there to vacation? But we are seeking housing. And then for those who have selected the Hamptons, we would be able to provide the housing information to them, give or take by the end of February to the first week of March. As it stands with the gold package as well, you have to select the Hamptons, one, and it comes with a second job.
Yes. And until what date do you have to pay the
program fee
amount for the gold package? Yes.
So registration, you'd need to register. We close registration by the end of this month. However, in regards to clearing your program fee balance, you will have until your permit gets shipped. So once you get a notification from Carrier Source that your permit has been shipped, you'd need to clear any balance that you have by then. But once you do register with us, that's your the first stage of your onboarding with us. After that, you're required to pay 50% of the program fee. So you'd pay half of the $19.99 if you do select the
gold package.
And then once you get the notification that your permit is shipped, then you'd clear the balance.
Okay, I understand. So you pay the $255 registration and then you're registered, and then when you pay 50% of the package that you're selecting, and then when you get your permit, you pay the remaining 50%, correct? Okay, I do understand. Another concern, when we do secure our job, how do we get paid? Is it like direct deposit? How is that?
When you get to the US?
Yes.
Yeah, man, they do direct deposit. So once you get to the US, so all right, once you land in the US, you do something called validating with your sponsors. So every sponsor's process for validation is different. With our sponsors, you are set up with an account on their student database. So once you land, you log back into your account, and then it would ask you to state the address that you're living. If you got a SIM card by the time you landed in the US, then you'd enter that information. Normally, it takes about 3 to 5 days for them to validate your information, and then you're able to go to the Social Security office. So it's normally covering going to the Social Security office and opening your bank account. Once you open your bank account, then once you're doing your orientation session with your employers, they'd ask you to present your banking information.
Okay, thank you. And as far as the money that we're paying to what J1? That's the name of the company, right? J1?
You're paying to them? No,
the package. No, I'm talking about the package. No.
Oh, the gold.
Like for the gold package, right?
Mhm.
You guys only have a Jamaican account, right, that we can pay to?
We have a US account. But even if you go to the bank with the Jamaican currency, they'll do the conversion for you and then tell you how much it is that's going into our account.
Yeah, I know. So how do we get the banking information? If that would be after registration, we'd get the.
Oh man, you can so the email address that I sent in the chat,
Yes.
just send us an email requesting the registration information, and we send you a registration email. So that outlines the fees, it outlines the account, and it outlines the documents that we would need.
Okay, thank you. That's all the questions I basically have right now.
Alrighty. So I see some questions in the chat. Who are our sponsors? So our sponsor is American Work Adventures. We've been working with them for the past 5 years. Repeat the cost of registration. The cost of registration is $255 US. The least rent amount for the Hamptons, I'm not sure what the rent will be this year, but for last year, the least that the students paid was $1,750 US for the season. And the season means from the start of the work and travel season to the end. So May 15th to the 7th of September. So Cheyenne asked, how long does the program last? The program lasts from May 15th to September 7th. That's the work and travel period for Jamaica. Overhead costs, these are the things that you're going to be paying for. Registration fee, $255. Program fee, which is either $17.99 or $19.99. You're covering, once your permit gets here, you're going to cover a CVIS fee, which is $35. And a CVIS fee is a fee charged by the US Department of State to all J1 students or all J-class visas. So that's $35. You cover your visa application fee. So you're going to pay to get your J1 visa. That's $160. If there is a fee associated with housing for whatever job you select, then you cover that fee as well. Airfare, and the airfare, we allow our students to book one-way tickets. Some parents prefer to have their children or child book a round trip. It's up to you. For the most part, the one-ways normally range anywhere from $200, depending on the state that they're going, to $500 for the one-way. Some persons actually do get round trip tickets for $500. And then outside of that, you cover your pocket money. Because if it is your first time going on the program, it may take you up to 3 weeks to get your first paycheck. So we ask that you bring enough pocket money with you to cover your immediate expenses. So getting to and from work, getting food, and if you never bring like certain basics like roll-on and soap, body wash, whatever it is that you use, pillow sheets, if you never bring that and you needed to get that at Walmart, then enough to cover your expenses immediately once you get there until you get your first paycheck. If you have been on the program before and you have your social security already, then it would take you about the next pay period, which could be at the end of that week.
All right.
Following.
And so this we can reach out to. I'm going to reach out to them directly now to tomorrow, so we can try to reach out to them what to do, man, and file it on them. Okay.
All right. If you don't have a visa, that is fine. Regardless, you would need to have a J-class visa. So even if you do have a B1, B2, which is your regular visiting visa to the US, you'd still have to get a J1 visa. And the J1 visa is the visa associated with the J1 Student Work and Travel Program. So with the other packages, yes, you're able to get a second job. It's just a case where with the gold package, we offer you a second job because we have 2 host companies that we'd merge you to work between both of them. With the other packages, it's just a case where you would go out and seek your own second job. And I normally encourage students to just go out and seek your own second job because once persons get into an area and they kind of familiarize themselves with the area, then you're able to explore and see what your pay options are in those areas, rather than us just providing you with a second job. So if you go to this like Starbucks and you hear that they're paying $12 and you go to that restaurant and they're paying $18, you're able to like weigh your options and see based on the scheduling or the time that they want you compared to the time you'd need to be at work for your primary job, which works best. 9 out of 10 times, persons just work with the one that pays the most money. All right, so anybody that wants to know the detailed information in regards to the silver or the gold package, you can just send an email to info@csi876.com and we can email you a breakdown with what each package entails. Stacy asked, the name of our company is 876 Career Source International Limited. If you are still in university by May 15th, it's just a case where you'd still do everything, you'd still get processed, but you won't be able to leave until your exams are finished. So some persons, like for example, there are students from like Bethlehem, they're not able to leave until June. CTC, they're not able to leave until June. Daniela, in regards to placement options, what exactly do you mean when you say what are other placement options? So Aaron French, registration for 2023 will begin in August 2022. We do not facilitate self-placement right now. We would have facilitated that as of December, but our sponsors are not going to be processing self-placements now. But generally, when they do self-placement, the employer has to be able to take 5 or more persons, not just one. In regards to the loan services, I am not sure what their interest rates or requirements are, but you can reach out to them and check. You also can check if they're still registering or accepting applications. The bronze package has been discontinued. So as it stands right now, the only packages that we're offering would be the silver and the gold. A number that you can contact us, you can call our office landline at 632-6806, or you can WhatsApp us. I'm gonna type the WhatsApp in the chat. So anybody that wants to WhatsApp us, you can send us a WhatsApp message there. Part-time students would not be eligible for the work and travel program. You have to be a full-time student. So you have to be a full-time student pursuing a 3-year diploma program or your bachelor's degree or your associate degree. The email address again is info@csi876.com. In regards to what the fees will be like for 2023, by the time we open registration for 2023 in August, we'd be able to see if there would be any changes to the program fee. So apart from the Hamptons, we send students to Syracuse, New York. We send students to Panama City Beach, Florida. We send students to Missouri. We send students to Michigan. Right. I don't want to pronounce your name wrong. So it's Ryan Kildare. I don't understand what you mean in regards to getting the J1. If you're asking when it comes to getting the J1 visa, if we do assist, we assist you with the process from start to finish. So you are guided and we do assist you right up until you get to the US. Once you get to the US, you are now the responsibility of the sponsors. But when it comes to obtaining a J1 visa, doing your application, getting your permit, getting you placed in a job, that's what we're here for. Community college students definitely can go on the work and travel program because community colleges, they still offer associate degrees, bachelor's degrees, and 3-year diploma program. So we do have students from Knox come see, Brownstone come see, Portmore come see, Mobay come see, quite a few come sees. Master students, yes, they are allowed as long as they do not pass 29 years old, and you must be full-time masters. Yeah, if you're going on the program for the first time, you can get your J1 visa. Don't watch the B1, B2 dates that are 2023. It's a different class of visa, so different dates. So whether it's your first time going on the J1 program or your fourth time going on the J1 program, you can still get a J1 visa. No. Minimum credits that the embassy requires would be 12. In most cases, they'll work around it depending on what your situation is. Because there are cases where most students may say they have like 10 because a course that they would have wanted to do isn't being offered, or they were not able to select more courses. So reasons like that. But for the most part, 12 credits. Norman Manley Law School students, yes, they are able to go. Yeah, we have had students being denied J1 visas before. 1, low GPAs. Minimum GPA requirement, 2. So the students that went, it was their choice to proceed still just to try their luck. And those GPAs were like 1.3 or 1.4. We've had students that, and when we're doing your visa application, we're gonna ask you, do you have any criminal background or anything that may affect your application once it is submitted? We normally ask for you to be truthful, because if the embassy does checks and they do come up with something, then that affects your visa and it may affect your chances of applying for other classes of visa or even going to the US in general. So we've gotten denials for low GPAs, we've gotten denials for criminal backgrounds, we've gotten denials for fraudulent documents. But other than that, our denial rate is pretty low. If it's a case where we're sending 300 students on the program, the chances of our denial would normally be about 3 denials or 4 denials, tops. No, the program is available for all students. UE, UTEC, CMU, UCC, IUC, Knox, Portmore, everybody.
Miss, is this available for part-time students as well?
No, it's only for full-time students. So you have to be full-time, registered full-time.
Miss, I'm a suggestion, because sometimes some people things are work situation are different. I wonder if this can be implemented in the future. I'm just giving a suggestion.
Well, really and truly, the requirements are set by the US Department of State. So
okay.
Yeah, so they're the ones that really control what the requirements are for a visa to be granted or for a permit to be issued to somebody for the work and travel program.
Okay. All right.
Alrighty. All right, so if it is a case where you do have less than 12 credits, as I explained, it's just a case where you can take the chance to proceed. However, if they do question why is it that you're doing less than 12, you have to have some sort of valid explanation. That being you were only able to select a certain amount of modules for this semester or for that year, or a course that you were required to do, it was not being offered at that time. But it can't be a case where I just chose to do 8. So Frina, what's the cost of what? The visa? If it is for the visa application, it's $160 US. We have had persons with low GPA, but low on the higher end, meaning they were like 1.9. They were like 1.9. They were drilled. They were drilled by the consulate, but they were granted. But we've had persons with GPAs for 1.3 that got denied. Normally, when we see those transcripts come in, we tell them we do not think you should proceed. But if you do wish to go, the decision is yours. We will still put you through, and then we'll see what happens. If you're in your final year, you can still participate on the program. Supermarket jobs, so various departments. You can work as a cashier, you can work as a packer, you can work as a porter, you can work as a produce associate or a counter associate, a deli associate, pastry associate. So pastry associate means that you'd probably be working in the pastry department, so you'd either be prepping the pastry or preparing the pastries, or you can work at the counter. So when the customers come in, you'd basically put them in the packages and give them so that they can go and cash it. Produce associates, you're basically getting the fresh produce and you're putting them out for display for the customers to purchase. Deli, you're preparing like deli meats. So you're slicing the deli meats, preparing the deli sandwiches. Cashiers, you know that what that is. Porters are basically the ones that are emptying like the bins, ensuring that once the bags are full, they're emptied and new bags are put in place. We have fresh foods, which is if the supermarket does prepare hot meals, then you're either in the back preparing the meals or you're at the front serving the meals. So deadline to register with us will be the last weekday in February.
Miss Muset, I have a question. Questions, Ravel.
Okay.
The first question is, what's the lowest GPA that you would recommend for students to continue? Meaning to fully execute the program. You know, you said at 1.3 is where you'd say, oh no.
Really and truly, if I'm being honest, I'd say 1.9.
1.9.
Yeah, 1.9. Because their minimum really is 2. That's 50%. So 1.9.
Right. And also, I know you had made it clear that part-time students are not, they're not allowed to do it, nor, so part-time students aren't allowed, but I know full-time students. But what exactly is the stance on master students? Are they allowed to do the course as well? Meaning, are they allowed to go on the program?
Yes, our sponsors, they do process master students. However, the master status letter has to say this person is registered full-time.
Right. Okay. So once it is their full-time master student.
And once they've not passed 29 years.
Okay. And I have an next question about that. And some of the questions are popping up while I'm asking. But the students want to know in particular, because of course not every single Jamaican is vaccinated at this point. But is it that vaccination is a must for them to go on this program?
Yep, because it is a requirement for you to gain entry into the United States. So you have to be fully vaccinated. Not one shot, both shots.
Both shots. Okay then. And boosters as well, or just both shots?
Just both shots.
Okay.
Right.
And last but not least, I know that they're supposed to send you emails and also follow your page, but just in case someone here or some students here are very much interested in signing up for your program, is it that they should come with the different documents? And if so, what are the documents that are needed from the get-go for them to go through this particular process?
Well, the first set of documents that we would require would be a resume. We would need the information section of the passport, and the passport must be valid. We would need any US visas that they've had and the previous travel dates. We would need a passport size photo in a dark top.
Right.
Your status letter to show that you are actually enrolled in school full time. The transcript they can obtain closer to the time that they're going to the embassy. And outside of that, they're presented with CSI documents. So CSI registration forms, CSI refund policies, CSI parent form, or agreements.
Okay. And I saw a very important question here a while ago in regards to GPA. Is it that the GPA is just for the semester before, or is it that it's their overall GPA?
Overall.
Overall
So
GPA.
At that time, the only way they'll look at a specific period would be for a first year student, because you are eligible to participate on the program once you've at least completed a semester. So at that point, they would, for that first time student, they'd be looking at their semester's GPA, but generally it's the overall.
Okay, understood. And a next question that I have for you, well, I'm going through the questions as I ask, because someone had asked about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, if it can work. And then someone else had asked about those who want to work in restaurants in particular, if it is that they need a food handler's permit to work. No. Okay.
So working in the restaurants, you're not required to have a food handler's permit. However, one of our employers, which is in Syracuse, New York, it's a casino and resort. The students that are working there, they have to get a gaming license, and the company, they actually assist with the students obtaining that. But working in the restaurants, they don't require you to have a food handler's permit. What was the other question again?
Johnson and Johnson.
Oh, so based on the listing that our sponsors sent to us with accepted vaccines, they do accept the Pfizer, they accept the AstraZeneca, and they accept the Johnson and Johnson. As long as you have a document that says you are fully vaccinated, that is fine.
Right.
Right. So
Okay.
in our case, our students that have registered already, they've all been required to submit their vaccination card that shows that they're fully vaccinated.
Okay, understood. And my last question,
Question? I'm not sure, but I think your audio went out. So.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, I was saying that a student had asked.
I think there are some connection issues here. Yeah, I'm not hearing. I think there's a connection issue.
Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Right. I was saying to you that someone was asking if they leave Jamaica in June, would it affect the jobs that are available to them?
Not really, because what happens is normally we try to see what dates students are available to leave based on when their exams are finished. So we are able to send to employers that a batch of students will arrive May 15th, a batch of students will arrive the 17th, and they'll be arriving throughout May right up until, for example, the 15th of June.
Okay, understood. Aaron has his hands up. Go ahead, Aaron.
All right, good evening, everyone. I just started UA. I'm a part-time student. I want to change my status. So my question is to you, Omolora. How long is the process to get my status changed? Because after this summer, I would acquire 24 credits, and then I could apply for the status change. How long would that process take so that I could apply for the J1 program with CSI?
I think her connection went again.
Mine? No, I think the question Aaron had for you is for you, Miss Moshette.
Because he had asked how long before he'd be able to get his status changed to full.
Oh, it's mine. All right. Sorry about that. All right. So it's very simple. If you are a part-time student and you want to change to a full-time student, if you're in first year, you would have to do 3 courses in semester 1, 3 courses in semester 2, and then 2 courses in the summer, which would equal to 24 courses, which are the required minimum amount of credits you need over SOCI to transfer to full-time and across the faculties as well. So if you're a second year student, however, that means you've done 3 courses in your first year, 3 courses in your second year, and 3 courses in your first semester, 3 courses in your second semester, and 3 courses one semester, which means that you're already qualified to move from part-time to full-time. It's now up to you to make the request on SAS and then query it at administration. So it depends on what year you're in. What year are you in, Aaron?
I'm in first year.
You're in first year. You need over SOCI to get
Go ahead, somebody open the mic.
Okay. So for you to change from part-time to full-time, you would first have to go through the process of doing 3 courses last year, which is equal to 9 credits, and then doing 3 courses this semester, which would equal to 9 and 9, 18 credits. So you would still have to complete this semester first before you'd be able to matriculate into a full-time student.
Right, and the process isn't long for them to change the status.
It isn't normally. It's dependent on what you want actually. So once you send them the information, you let them know that, oh, I'd like to make the change. Then it's normally done in a timely. It's a very easy process to do. It's just that you need to ensure that you meet the requirements. And the requirements are the minimum 24 credits. So if it is that you're a first year trying to matriculate into a full-time student, you have to do last semester, you have to do this semester, and then you have to do some courses in the summer to be a full-time student.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem, Aaron. Any other questions for Miss Mushette and the Work and Travel program? If you have any questions whatsoever, some questions, I sent some questions in the chat, my bad. Let me just check. I didn't look in
For Daniela, the school ID is accepted, but it cannot replace, well, we've never asked for an acceptance letter. We just asked for a status letter. So a status letter and a transcript.
Right. And if I may, Miss Moshette, those who need their status letters, their transcript, you have to request your status letter on BOSS. Those who, once you're a US student, you know how to access BOSS. So you'd go online, you type in BOSS, and then when they ask your request, you request a status letter. You have to pay for your status letter. So they'll be asking you to either pay online, or they're gonna ask you to come into the office and pay for the status letter. When you get the receipt, so to get your status letter, all of that have to do on campus. You can ask me, social students, to go and do it for you, or other students you can, but you have to get your status letter physically from them in particular, and then you go ahead. And also for your transcript, you can request your transcript, and if you don't want to come and pick it up on campus, you can ask them to send it directly to CSI. They do that as well over our university. So if you need more information, you can always send me a message on WhatsApp. Go ahead, Miss Moshette.
And then for those who may ask, when you are requesting, I know that there are quite a number of UE students that have reached out to us in regards to who the letters should be addressed to. The letters can be addressed to the embassy, or the letters can be addressed to us. Same with the transcript.
Same with the transcript. Thank you, Ms. Moshette. So once it is, guys, please remember that it's imperative. Once you're going on a work and travel, once you're going on a J1 program, you need those two documents in particular, right, Ms. Moshette? And so it's imperative that you get them. And if you don't know how to get them, reach out to your faculty representative. I'm here, or any one of our representatives, to get you the information, because you need those for you to move on anywhere else in the program. Also, Ms. Moshette, we have a question for you. In particular, what we want to know is when is the deadline for students to either register with the program? We just want a reminder to register with the program, and to also submit their documents to move forward to the next stage.
So deadline to register with us is Monday, February 28th. So after the 28th, whenever the banks close on the 28th of February, that's it. You register with us for summer 2022. The thing is, I don't want to give a deadline for document submission, because really and truly, late registration means you're already behind the other students, and we don't want to have your process delayed. So we would tell you, once you register and you get the email from the office to say that you have been onboarded and these are the things that you need, try to get them ASAP. Like, just try to get them to us ASAP. Yeah. So we can speed you up and get you up to date with everybody else.
That's true.
And then, as I explained earlier, you would have until you get it. So you see, when you get that email from us that says, hey, your DS form has been shipped, just run to the bank the next day and then just clear whatever balance you have with us. So that once you reach, your account is at zero, you collect your package, you do your prep for the embassy interview, and then you sign for your package, and you out the door. You go, you get the visa, you call us to tell us the visa is approved. We deal with the ticket booking, because we try to have you guys booked in group. You're on the plane, you out the door.
Beautiful.
For sure, it's really hard for me to give you an overall cost for the program, being that certain fees vary. For example, airfare and rent. But I can tell you that the fees that I can tell you upfront would be registration $255, program fees either $17.99 or $19.99, Visa, $160, CVIS, $35. So those fees I can give you straight up and you can do the calculation. But housing, I can't give you a fee on that as yet because it all depends on which host site you select and what the housing fees are, if any, associated with the housing. And then airfare, it depends on the state that you're going. If you decide to book a one-way or a round trip, so those would affect me giving you an overall cost. Registration forms are sent by email. So, all right. So for example, if you are interested now, you send an email to us at info@CSI876, and then we will respond with the registration information. You go ahead to the bank, and payments are accepted two ways: by making a direct deposit at Jamaica National or by Zelle. So you can request the Zelle information, or you can request the banking details. Once you make the payment and you screenshot, if it is Zelle, screenshot and send us the confirmation. If it is JN, you send us a clear picture of the receipt. We add it to our database. You are presented with the registration documents, and then from there, registration forms, agreements, and all of that is sent to you.
I think somebody had also asked for the Instagram page, Ms. Mouchette.
Or Instagram is CS. Let me ensure that I'm giving you the right information. So our Instagram is CSI876 _ let me just write it here.
Also, there's a question for you, Miss Mouchette. If we already pay half of the program fee, what will happen if we haven't paid the other half by the 28th?
No, as I said, for the program fee, you clear that by the time you get the email that your package is shipped.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So even if you paid half of your program fee already, you're still good until your package is shipped. You clear your balance by the time your package is shipped.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you for that one.
No problem.
Are there any other questions? Oh, here's a question. Some students are also sending us WhatsApp, and some students are also sending us WhatsApp. They want to know in particular, what are some of the recommendations you would recommend to them? What are some recommendations you would have for them when they go over for Work and Travel Expos?
All right. When you get to the US, these are the things that I would say. Go with an open mind. For the most part, I think most persons go with an expectation for this. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's okay.
Right. So I'd say go with an open mind, being that, okay, sometimes we present to the students that this is the housing, or they'll see housing provided with or at a hotel. For them, being that they're from Jamaica, their understanding or interpretation of hotel means Ibero star, luxury, all-inclusive, 5-star, all the excitement. No. In this case, it's normally like motel style. So for the motel style, is, you know, the space, picture it like a 1-bedroom apartment with a kitchenette. Kitchenette meaning there's a, give or take, some of the motels have like a kitchen, a stove top, a flat top, mini fridge, microwave, but not a full-blown stove and a full-blown fridge. And it's normally like 4 or 5, give or take up to 6 persons sharing the unit, and it's bunk beds. So go with an open mind to live and share a space with other persons for up to 4 months. Adjusting to the fact that you will not be able to get the foods that you may want in certain areas that you go in the US. I think the reality really kicks in after the first 3 weeks or 4 weeks while students are on the program, because you're waking up very early and you're coming in very late, so you're very exhausted. So just go with that expectation. At the end of the day, as I said, you know why you're going on the program. You know what your goal is. You're working towards it, so you know what sacrifices you'll have to make. I just ask that you take care of yourself while you're on the program. And at the end of it all, just try to build relationships with these people. You don't know what opportunity can come from it. Who's to say if when you're finished with school, you may get offered a full-time job just based on their encounter or their experience with you for that first time. They may say, all right, we really see that you really performed well. We'd like for you to come back next summer. When do you finish school? We'd like for you to fill this position here full-time. And then have fun. Have fun, try to explore a bit, because yes, you're going to work for a specific reason, but try to have fun, try to explore. Remember, you are in school up to the point when you leave. When you leave, you go right into work. And then when you come back, if it is that you're not in school, you're jumping right back into school. So there's really no break. So try to factor in some break, some fun, some exploring while you are there. See something, take some pictures, make some memories. And at the end of the day, you can look back on it and say, all right, then at least I experienced this. I tried this, I visited there. I had some fun throughout the summer.
Thank you for that, Ms. Machette. Is there anybody else? Oh, Ryan is asking if you can recap the jobs again for them.
So we have placements in the Hamptons. We have 2 supermarkets in the Hamptons. We have a hotel in Syracuse, New York. It's a resort and casino. We have, like, for example, McDonald's. We have other hotels within Michigan and Missouri. We have placements at restaurants in Margaritaville for Panama City Beach, Florida. Yeah. Our biggest contracts are with supermarkets. I'm seeing some questions in the chat from Serena. If you have family members, you can definitely stay with them. If it is in an area that is close to where you'll be working, you're fine to stay with them, 100%.
Okay, beautiful.
Miss Facey, you came to the office well, I'm not sure who would have advised for you to apply online, because our online application process is not being utilized.
No, I don't think. I think she's referring to something else. Miss Mush. Right, she was explaining
the status letter.
Yes, that's what she was explaining, full-time and part-time.
Okay. For Stephen, yes, you definitely can. Oh, some of the responses are there. Okay. But as I said, for everybody that once you register, all right. When it comes to guaranteeing you a spot, if we're out of placements, we don't accept anybody to register. So as it stands right now, we're still open to meet our quota. Once we close registration, so if we do close registration before the 28th of February, that would have meant that we've met our quota. So if we stay open until then, that means we still have positions, because we're not gonna do a situation where persons are trying to battle to get a placement. So once our registration is open, that means we definitely have positions available. And as I explained, there's a shortage with labor in the US right now. So our employers are in a cat fight. Everybody's trying to get as much persons as they can and know and confirm that they have their staffing needs met for summer 2022. Any more questions for me?
Yes, Gail is asking a very important question. What Gail wants to know, beautiful name, how long does it take for you to respond to emails?
Well, for the most part, me personally, I'm always responding to emails, but generally we try to, if, for example, sometimes I'll be up until 10 or 11 responding to emails, so you will get a response, but if you send an email today, you'll get a response by tomorrow.
Okay.
Once we wrap up the session, if I do get emails from anybody on the session now, they'll get a response tonight.
Beautiful, love to hear that. And I would say that if you have any questions in particular and you want to, you can also WhatsApp us. Well, you can WhatsApp me, the faculty representative, and I will immediately send you all the information that Miss Bouchette has sent from CSI so that you can go about applying and getting your information ready for your experience on the J1 program. It's 7:10. We want to say we want to give them 5-10 minutes more. Right, Ms. Moshe? For
Sure.
any other questions, any other queries, this is your opportunity it's late, but at the same time, this is your big opportunity to go in abroad and participating in this program. So if you have any questions whatsoever about this program, if you have any other questions about the Faculty of Social Sciences and our participation in this program, if you have any questions for Ms. Moshe about anything else, CSI, how to become an ambassador, perhaps for CSI to go about telling other students about it, whatever it is that you want to do. Let me see, could you give an estimation of what the prices are like? All right, Hannah, go ahead, Miss Gail.
All right, let me try to see if I can give a ballpoint figure for all right, let me try to give an estimation of probably how much you'd be able to, or how much you'd need to cover your program. So registration $255, let's say you select the silver package, $17.99. There is also, if you select the silver package, there is a late registration fee of $125. So let's put it that you select the gold package, because if you select the gold package, there's no late registration fee. So $255 plus $19.99, $160 for the visa, $35 for the CVIS. Working with the lower end of what the housing was, for example, for the Hamptons last year, which is $17.50 for the season. Let's say you book a one-way ticket and you're going to New York. So ticket one way, $250. And let's say you need $300 to cover your expenses until you get paid. So I'd say you're spending roughly $4,700, $4,800. You can round it up to $5,000.
One second again. Sorry for speaking out of turn. You said that the gold package is how much again?
$1,999, $2,000. But the $2,000, it does include your CVIS. It doesn't include your visa. I saw a question that asked, what does your program fee cover? So the program fee, the $19.99, that covers your work permit and your health insurance. The health insurance is the most expensive part of your program fee, and it is a requirement for you to get the work permit. Miss Rodney, do you really make it back? We have students that make that back within a month. All right, let's do some maths. One of our employers right now, Citarella, they pay $17 per hour and they do minimum 40 hours for the week. So that's $680 for the week, minus your taxes that come from that. So let's say $70 comes from that for taxes. So $610 times 4. So that's $2,400 for the month at one job. You can do 2 jobs. And then this is without overtime. You're going to be there for 3 to 4 months tops. So if your aim is to make, let's say, $12,000 or $15,000 for the season, some persons have made $18,000 and $20,000 for the season, you just need to break it down to see how many hours you need to work per week, not calculating tips, but the minimum hours that you need to work and the minimum amount per hour that you need to be earning. So you are able to break that down and do your maths to see what you need to do. But we have had persons that make up to $18,000, $25,000. And especially like we have persons who, like, I know for a fact that in 2018 and 2017, like visiting the students at their post sites and just having conversations with them. Most of them were making like $150 per day in tips, $100 per day in tips, $80 per day in tips. So if you calculate minimum $50 per day in tips by 6 days a week, in regards to the money, I'm going to assume that's the program fee. It doesn't have to be paid all at once. You can pay it in portions. But as I say, registration upfront, no, and $1,000, which is a half of the program fee upfront, no. You can pay in portions right up until your permit gets here. So if you pay $200 today, $400 next week, or $150 next week, $100 another time, you can just pay it in portions until your permit gets here. Yeah, registration is the same, $255. So that's just a general first payment that you make, and it's not a part of your program fee. It's non-refundable and it's non-transferable. So we just ask that you check to ensure that you're actually serious about going on the program. Check to ensure that everything is good with you with the school before you pay the registration fee. No, registration is paid to Career Source. So you can email us info@csi876.com to get the banking information. And then we'll send you the account number and the instructions to make your registration fee payment. Right, so your first payment would be the $255. So that kickstarts everything for you. And if you're not able to make the entire $1,000 upfront at first, you can pay in portions leading up to the $1,000. However, you won't be added to the sponsors database until you meet that $1,000 requirement for them to start processing you for your job and for your permit. Because you are already behind, so this late registration would pretty much mean that you have to try to catch up with the others, because we don't want anybody delayed. So you apply by sending us an email to info@csi876.com expressing an interest to participate on the program with us for 2022, and then we'll send you the registration information. Once you make the payment, you have been registered, you are sent an email with some documents that you need to submit, and then we take it from there.
Things are just fun like money making, don't they?
Alrighty. Thank you. Do we have any other question? We have room open for just 3 more questions. 3 more questions if you have. So we are just making the space open for 3 more questions. Let me just mute Miss Pinnock. Beautiful. Also, we want to know, and this is from the Faculty of Social Sciences directly, if you are interested in doing more of these sessions. These are students who are present here now. If you're interested in doing more of these sessions, we're inviting you to simply fill out the survey that we will send out. Just let us know, give us your feedback about this particular session, and if you're open to having more sessions like this. But like I say, if you have any other questions whatsoever, be big or small, we're ready to hear them. I think Miss Mouchette is also interested in hearing the questions. And I think she's very much adept and ready to give answers. So if you do have any other questions, please feel free to let us know.
Miss Wilson, a question.
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
would like to know if upon application and, fulfilling the needs or the requirements of the application, are you guaranteed to get through? And if not, is that funds reimbursable?
All right, so I think that question would be for me. But Once you apply, the only way you won't get through is if you A, fail an employer interview, which is very rare, or B, get denied a visa. Other than that, you're pretty good.
Yeah, and the other part of the question, whether, as you said, there are two possible reasons, so, not getting through. So if it is that I would have satisfied the monetary requirements here and, unfortunately falls in that category, would I be reimbursed?
Sure. It's just a case where once you're presented with our refund policy, you are basically given an outline to see based on what stage your processing would be at, what percentage of your program fee reimbursed. But generally, the registration and enrollment fees are non-refundable.
Understandable that the case would warrant it to not be a full refund.
Pardon?
I understand that it's not a full refund.
Right. Depending on where you are in your process.
Right. Even if I would have paid all of it?
Yeah. Remember, at the end of the day, if the company does work on your processing and the sponsors, they are going to claim for whatever work has been done up to the point when you would have found out that you're either not going on the program or you are not able to go on the program.
Okay.
Right. So before anything, you are presented with a refund policy so you can see what happens throughout each stage.
Hello.
Okay.
Good evening.
Hi, good
Can you hear
evening.
me? Yeah. I was told by someone to ask if it applies to part-time students.
No, you have to be a full-time student to be eligible for the program.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome. For Brittany, you don't have to be vaccinated to go to the embassy, but you need to be fully vaccinated to go to the US. Any more questions?
Any other questions going once? Going once, going
Good
twice.
night.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure if this applies to like the student work and travel, but do we get tax returns?
Yeah. Once you go and you work, you are entitled to your returns. So students normally get their W-2 forms around February, like the end of January to the first week of February, and then you can just file.
Oh, so it's something you have to file for and then get it like
to your account, or you can request to get a check. Normally advise you to just keep your account active in the US so you can get it directly to your account. Easier, less stress.
okay, and that's like months after, right?
Yeah, because you'd come back let's say you come back September. You wouldn't get a W-2 form, which is a tax form to show how much taxes you've paid in total. You wouldn't get that form until about the end of January to the first week of February.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Welcome.
On the note of tax returns, just so you know, if you are not able to do your tax returns by yourself, I know that we have multiple companies out there that are capable to assist you with your tax returns. And so what I'm imploring you to do as a faculty representative is, if you are not sure, to reach out to some of these companies. Do ensure that you do your research on these companies, because some of them are not necessarily the best, but at the same time, we want to implore you to check out some of these companies so that you can get your tax returns, get back the money that you worked for, get back the money that you invested in, and so that when you reach back to Jamaica, there's also a next set of money coming into your pocket, because you have worked for that particular money. And so, yeah, please ensure. If you're not aware of some, we do have some listed. I'm not sure if if CSI does it as well.
We actually
you
don't
know,
taxes, no.
right. So it's not something that is done by CSI. But if you, just so you know, guys, we do have persons out there who does it, and we do have persons out there who works closely beside our faculty to ensure that your tax returns are done to the best of its potential, so that every single dime that you worked for comes back into your pocket. Do you have any other questions before we close off? We want to end at 7:30, so we're giving it a floor. Go ahead.
Ms. Thompson, you say it starts in May, right?
Oh, that's for me?
Yeah, it starts in May.
Work and travel period starts in May. So normally the 15th of May.
15, okay. So you have until about February to pay the 1,000 until May?
All right. So let's say you decide to register with us and you register the 28th of February. So the longer you take to make your half of your program fee payment, the more that you would be delaying your process on the sponsor's end, meaning that you're delaying the process for your DS 2019 work permit.
Okay. So if you pay the 1,000 at the time when you register,
right,
you still need to pay the remaining balance before May 15th.
Before you leave, yes. So let's say your permit gets here about April. So you'd have up to April to clear your balance.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Any other questions?
Hello.
Okay.
I have a question. You hearing me?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So I went on the Instagram page, the CSI 876. I am seeing the program packages, but I'm not sure if you answered this question already, but I see one where it says bronze package.
Yeah, we discontinued the bronze package.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Already.
All right. Any other question? All righty. So going once, we want to end it at 7:30. Going twice. All righty. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming out today. Thank you so much for participating. We want to say a big, 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 big.
A big.
Sorry, I'm not sure what's happening. A big, 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 big thank you to Miss Mushette for coming out tonight, along with your team, to informing us, Aaron. All right, Aaron, it's a 1 sec, but we get a 1 sec. Go ahead, Aaron.
160. $160.
Okay, thanks.
No problem.
No problem. All right then. So that's it. I'm assuming that's it for all questions.
Quick question: is it that if you have children, you can't go on the J1 program?
Well, our sponsors specifically ask that if you are married or you have a child, then they will not process the application. Why? I'm not sure, but there are other agencies that their sponsors will accept persons who are married and that have children. There are also agencies with sponsors that will accept applications for persons over 29 years.
Beautiful. Love that. Right. And so we want to remind you, as someone has just said to me, that you know, guys, there are other agencies who take students who are past that age group, because university students don't just facilitate, you know, 18 to 25, 18 to, you know, we have persons who are older who also participate in the event. So who also attend the University of the West Indies. So even though their Miss Mushet sponsor they're not particularly fond of older persons, feel free to reach out to us. We can probably find an agency who sponsors do. In the meanwhile, we also want to say, is that for questions? That's it for questions? Let me just do that. Let's finalize. All right, I think that's it for questions. All right, so we want to say thank you so much to Miss Machette and your team for coming out and giving us the opportunity to learn more about this event. We want to thank you for your time. Thank you for the information. And of course, thank you for your assistance. So many students who really and truly needed the assistance during the late registration set period. Also, we want to say thank you to each and every single one of you who tuned in tonight, who came out to get the information, who came out to find out about all the information that they're offering here at CSI. We also want to implore you to sign up for the program and also to get the best out of this program. In the chat box right now, we're sending a feedback link. It's literally less than a minute. All we want to know is if you enjoy the session, what is it that you'd want us to improve about the session? Just 3 questions. And if you're interested in being added to our WhatsApp group for more information about these sessions. And that's that, as simple as 1, 2, 3. So we're imploring you, please, let me send the link again, to just fill out the link for 2 minutes and then go for it. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Remember to follow CSI. Remember to send them an email. Miss Michelle can go ahead and type that in the chat. And also to follow their Instagram page. They have all the information there. I know some of you have already taken the initiative to go on the Instagram page, but nonetheless, please remember to follow their Instagram page at CSI 876 _ work and the letter travel program. CSI 876 _ work and travel program. If you type in CSI 876, the rest will pop up for you and you're good to go. Remember that you need to pay the registration fee to move forward from there. And if you want to rewatch this session, it's available on our YouTube to your disposal. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Thank you, Ms. Machette, for your time. Thank you for your team. And we look forward to seeing more students participating in our registration session. You're welcome, Sasha. All right, everyone, have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me play some exit music because I know how to do this. I learned this not too long ago, so I'm just gonna try it. But also, if you have questions, guys, you can message us. It's 5670913.